Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a video about Dover Castle. So I had a day out there, so I'd like to share that with you. What you should be able to see now is the front of the castle, and this is just a short video on the bits of the castle. And the front of the castle you can see out into the Dover town centre. So as you can see here is the gate part of the castle, the entrance to the castle. So it was a slope ramp up to the castle, and I imagine this was a later addition. So before it would have been a drawbridge and a balcony gate, and there's an old wooden door as well there. And I imagine there used to be a moat there because from the slope you can see down it's a bit dug in. So that was where water used to flow, so just to protect the castle. But then later on the ramp was added to make it easier to get into the castle by horse. So despite this being a ancient castle, I feel the architecture is still really nice. The way that the ceiling arches and cross over, the architecture is really magnificent. So back in the day would have been a very, very magnificent castle. And I know that the maintenance of it's been quite good as well. It's been well maintained, and I think since it's been in the English Heritage, it's been worked on a lot. And yeah, the view out to the Dover town centre and the harbour is amazing, and it's definitely a good place for photographs on a good sunny day. The day that I went was really sunny, so at certain times and angles it was really hard to take pictures, and the video camera that I've got is not exactly brilliant, but I've tried my best to give you a good video of the castle. What I want to do now is quickly talk through where we're going to go. So this is obviously the entrance to the castle. So when you reach the courtyard of the castle, there's two different directions that you can go. So to your left is the medieval tunnel and the more older part of the castle, the outer walls, and you can walk around the walls of the castle and also check out the medieval tunnels. So these are the old tunnels. There's another set of tunnels that was built for wartime service on the right hand side, and also down there is the Naffy Cafe. So the Naffy Cafe serves hot food, and then also if you go down that way you can access the Great Hall in the main castle. And also the car park is over there as well. I came in through the front because I had to park in the overflow car park because it was so full that day. I got there not that late, but it was already full. So it just depends. And also down that way as well, you can see over one of the courtyards a lovely view of the harbour, the Dover Harbour and beach as well. And there's some grassy areas just to sit down and relax and also look at the great scenery. And it's a great place to just walk around as well. It's massive, so the whole walk around would probably take a good half hour, 45 minutes. And also there's lots to see on the way. And there's also a land train available to board if you don't want to walk, which I didn't in that heat. And also if you're with somebody that perhaps can't walk for very long or just needs to sit down or be taken somewhere, the land train's a good option. It's available I think every 15 minutes, and also I'll show you later on in the video where you can get the land train and the stops for the land train as well. So this next bit is the older part of the castle. As you can see there, it's built in the early 13th century. So this is the more original part of the castles. The oldest part of the castle's not as well maintained. Parts of it has crumbled in and there's quite a lot of holes. But overall the structure of it is still there, so you can still climb up and have a look or go inside a little towers to have a look at the outside of the castle. There's little slots to look into outside the castle. It's quite interesting, that part of the castle. And so out here you can see the entrance of the castle the way that I came in through this little slit hole here, and it's all barred up for good reason. And this is the view of Dover town centre, and the little English heritage booth there is at the entrance where you sign up to become a member or to purchase your tickets. And yeah, as you can see there more in the distance, that's the town. I think it's really magnificent. The castle, you can see the whole of Dover. And yeah, as you can see down there, there's people buying tickets. So yeah, I think that's a nice view. And now we're just gonna go and out again. And I think the land train is going to come soon, so I'll hopefully get that and go around the castle. It's actually really, really cool inside there. It's really hot outside and sunny, but it's really cool in there. But yes, there's a little bit that's caved in. I wonder what that was for. So it hasn't rained much this summer. The grass is looking really, really yellow and dry. So feeling a bit sorry for the grass. So there's these steps up here which you can climb into to have a look at this next bit of the castle walls. And there's a lot to see here. So I'm just gonna show you. And there's some over there as well. And I think that's a well there that's being covered. So that's quite interesting. I love going to these old castles and seeing the way that people used to live. It's really fascinating because obviously we don't live in castles anymore, and these places do have some historical memories, I guess, of how people used to live. So this could be the water source for the castle. Yeah, so now you can see that bit is the main castle. So we've just been walking around the curtain walls of the castle, the inside part of those. So what you just saw a glimpse of there was the actual main castle. So inside here, I guess this would be where the guards used to watch and stay. Um, to keep guard, and also some of them were used as storage or for other purposes. So this wouldn't be the main part of the castle where people would live. So now we're walking towards the entrance for the medieval tunnel, and also it is here that the land train stops as well. So we're now going to be heading more towards the main part of the castle, but we're still sort of in the outer wall part, and the buildings that you just saw are the toilets, and inside here is the stairs towards the medieval tunnel. So just go down those stairs into the medieval tunnel. It looks rather horrifying. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going down there. I did want to have a clip of the land train, but I think when I got on, the recording didn't work properly, so I haven't got that recording. So now we're in the medieval tunnel. It's rather dark. So it's quite fun. It's quite steep trying to just first get down there because the tunnels are deep under the castle, so it's a little bit of a steep slope down, and then once you're down it's just flat then. There is some lighting. It's not completely pitch dark, but it's minimal lighting. Hope you don't mind that dramatic music in the background. I thought that's just the best way to do this video. So basically we're now in part of the tunnel still, but this part is lighting in. So as you can see here, we're at the dip of the hill, and up there is part of the castle. So we're in the bit where the moat used to be, but inside the castle. That's what I meant earlier by it used to be moated. This is where the water could flow and protect the castle. And here are the cannons as well. So here they have a couple of cannons, and this is where I guess they used to defend the castle as well. The underground tunnel is pretty dark, hence why I put the dramatic music on, because there wasn't much to say there. But I thought it was just interesting for you to see what the experience was like. So this is a whole gallery for the cannon. So this is just a bit of an introduction about this place. So it's for the moat with fire. So this is guarding the moat from any attack. This castle was definitely built for military operation. This isn't a castle for royal accommodation. So you can tell the difference in that the castle is very well guarded and the walls are very thick. So this is definitely something built for defense. This part is the bottom floor of the castle, I guess. So out here is the bottom of the moat. So you can't go out through there. So you have to circle around the underground tunnels. So that concludes our tour of the medieval tunnels. So up there is the outer walls and the back of the main castle. So as you can see here, we're going to just head up the stairs to get to that bit. So this way you can go up to the main castle and you can see a better view of the whole castle and possibly the scenery around the castle. So just a few steps up to the top, and once you get up here it is another bridge-like entrance to the main part of the castle. So we've just been into the outer wall part, we're now heading into the main castle. So far everything's been really good. It's been a great day out. I think I've already been here for about an hour and I haven't even been around most part of the castle yet. It's not too expensive to get in, and obviously it's free if you're a member. Membership's not too expensive per year. I have a video discussing this, and I'll be also happy to do the prices in the description box below. Or if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So I'm going to quickly show you. I am wearing my Pandora ring, and then also this is the wristband that you get when you enter the castles. Everyone's got one. They prefer if you put them on, or some people don't, but you get given one. So down there is the courtyard that we were in earlier. So and this part is the main castle, as you can see. So I just feel like one thing about this castle is there's like loads and loads of layers to it. So this is how you know it's from military operation. So this will be the heart of the castle, and to get to this part you've got to go through all the other parts, so it's not that easy to attack and take this castle really. So here is the back of the main castle. The main entrance is on the other side. As you can hear, there's another moat part here. So this castle has castles within castles, I guess. And there's a little bird on there. There's quite a lot of people here today as well, hence why I had to park in the overflow car park. It's such a beautiful day. It's a great family day out, and as you see in the distance there's the harbour. The view is magnificent. The castle's so big that it will literally take a whole day to go around, so it's a perfect full day out. So this is the drawbridge gate of the main castle called the King's Gate, and as you just saw a glimpse of there, that's the main castle. So this is the side, but here is the main castle. It does look a bit like the Tower of London. This castle does remind me a lot of that. If anyone's been to the Tower of London, it's not exactly very fancy, but it's very well structured. It's more one of those castles more for defense than looks. And over there you can see a lot of people there having lunch on the bench, and the cafe is just inside that building. And that one only sells sandwiches and hot drinks and cold drinks. Because I'm feeling rather hungry, I prefer to have a full hot meal, so I'm going to head down to the Naffy Cafe instead. For some reason, there's so many people in this part of the castle, and I think it's quite nice here. So after some lunch at the Naffy Cafe, I'm all refreshed. So now we're in another part of the castle. So this is more the First, Second World War part of the castle, when it was used to protect the front lines in the French coast and watching the British coast as well. So there are lots of different things on display. It's a bit of a exhibition, if you like, a more interactive exhibition. So it's trying to mimic what it would have been like for officers and people who worked here, keeping Britain safe. So from here you can see a very lovely view of the sea. I think this room was used to keep an eye out for ships and to track ships in the nearby area. So this is a bit like a control room, and there is a lot of different information about the room. It's really interesting if you're into that part of history. Dover Castle's perfect if you're into the wartime history of Britain, because there was a lot of operation in Dover Castle. The wartime tunnels will be definitely a must go to. In this video I won't be showing that because I didn't go in there because there was a massive queue that day and it was really hot, so I couldn't stand under the heat. But other than that, if there's any day that you could go and you have the opportunity, it's definitely worth seeing. So one of the things I did go into, which I wasn't allowed to film, was the wartime hospital tunnels. So that was what was used to treat the soldiers that were badly wounded from France that was brought back to the country. They'll be treated immediately there before being dispatched home or to some other place for further treatment. You weren't allowed to film in there, and it was pretty dark as well. You got an interactive tour, which made it even harder to film. But I would imagine you wouldn't be able to film in the wartime tunnel either. But I think if you go, it's definitely worth seeing. And I think at the moment we are now outside of the command post office. We're just about to go upstairs to where some other rooms are. So while we're going through here, just like to talk about the facilities available at Dover Castle. There is a ice cream ice cream station stop, where it's open on a really sunny day for a quick ice cream near the Naffy Cafe. The Naffy Cafe serves hot meals, whereas other cafes in the castle do not. They only sell sandwiches and drinks. Naffy Cafe has quite a wide choice of food. I had a really nice lunch, and the drinks available were really good as well. So now we're in the upstairs part of the command post office, and this is really interesting. So this part is when you come out of the hospital tunnels, the wartime hospital tunnels, you come across it, and normally if you weren't, you just have to walk further up the hill from where the wartime tunnel is, because the entrance for the hospital wartime tour is different to the exit, so you come out another place than when you enter. So this is how we came across this, and there's another like old big looking house, and like an actual house part in within the castle. further up the hill as well. So it's a massive place. It's perfect for walks. There's a lot to see, and there's quite good facilities as well. There is about the overflow car park. It is a bit of a walk to that because that's further down the castle hill. So it's about a 10-minute walk if you walk from the castle, but they have a mini shuttle bus that takes you to the overflow car park and from the overflow car park to the castle, so you don't really have to walk. You just have to wait for the next mini shuttle bus. They run really frequently, I think about every 10-15 minutes, a bit like the land train. And there is always a member of staff about as well within the castle to ask any questions or to ask for directions or where to go for something. So we're just outside now of the command post office, and that's the house thing that I was talking about earlier. I didn't go into them. To be honest, I only spent about 3 hours within the castle before I had to leave because the heat was overcoming me. And I'm going to conclude the video here. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and this will be followed up with a what's in my bag video for that day, what was in my handbag, what handbag I carried with me to Dover Castle. I will be doing more videos like this one, and there'll be more videos coming soon as well. If you've anything you want to see particularly, do let me know. I'll also be doing a video on my website soon, so keep an eye out. Thank you for watching.